ಮಧುಮೇಹ ಮುಕ್ತ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ರಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಡಯಾಬಿಟೀಸ್ ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು ಹಿಡಿದಿರೋದು. The idea to implementation, he has been heading the journey, and today he wants to share how it works. And he says, eat when hungry, stop when full, never feel deprived. Do we need a reminder to eat our meals? From visual hunger to actual hunger, when our eyes detect something delicious, the brains are notified. A veteran in the field of ophthalmology, someone apart from a doctor believes in the power of love. So he wrote a book, Power of Love. So I request the chairman, Mr. Mittal, and all other doctors to light the lamp to launch the Reversing Diabetes Clinic, the first of its kind from the Narayan Nethralaya group. I request you, sir. Today we are doing a live streaming of this formal press briefing both on Zoom and through YouTube across the next 45 minutes of proceedings. Now I request Chairman Dr. Shetty to address the press formally. Yes, sir, from there itself. Sir,
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. At the outset, I'd like to thank all of you for having taken time and trouble to be with us this afternoon. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ, diabetes, is going through the roof, exploding, not only in our country but all over the world. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೇ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ 77 million people are diabetics. We are second only to China in numbers. Soon we may be called the diabetic capital of the world. All over the world we have over 500 million people who are diabetics, and in the last 4 decades this number has grown 400%. I think that begs the question, why in this modern time with all the technology, with all the medicines, is it going through the roof? Why is it exploding in spite of best of efforts from the medical fraternity? Adrinda, I must tell you that I am also a diabetic for the last 25 years. So I just like to tell you about my journey. When I was 40, I became a diabetic. Dr. Throde, I was given tablets and I took it for granted. It's normal. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೋನ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ದ ಜೀನ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಅ ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಕ್. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತಂದರೆ year by year, every time I visited the doctor, my sugars were still not under control with the given medicine. So much so that ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂತು. ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಡಯಾಬಿಟೀಸ್ ಬೈ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಒಬಿಸಿಟಿ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹೈಪರ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, then you have liver problems, kidney problems. All these things usually, one after the other, they follow diabetes. And the same thing happened to me, so much so that at the end of almost 25 years, I was taking almost 10 to 12 tablets every day to control all these problems. But it was still not manageable because it was a downhill course. So, I thought maybe because we see more than 500 diabetic eye-related eye problems every day at Narayan Nethralaya minimum, with various forms of eye retinal issues. We try very hard to treat them, but it's a very, very difficult thing to treat. Fortunately, the commonest operations we do is on cataract, and cataract is a one-time surgery, fit and forget, and the patient is happy, doctor is happy, we get excellent results. That's why most of our hospitals and eye doctors have got such good success rates. Whereas retina treatment of diabetic eye problems is done by a vitreoretinal team. It is a very, very cumbersome process. It's a never-ending process. For whole life, they need to keep coming. They need first they will say injection, next laser, then surgery, one eye to the other. So it's not a very, it's a pleasurable situation like cataract. So that's the unfortunate thing. And I knew after having been diabetic for 25 years, it's the diabetic age that usually causes these problems. Although you may keep it under good control, if you are a diabetic for more than 10, 12, 15, 20 years, eye problems, heart problems, all other nerve problems, all other problems crop up. So I was worried now. So I looked. I went in search of different options, and luckily during the pandemic I had a lot of free time on hand. So I tried. Then of course we all know diabetes is primarily a dietary disease. It is directly related to what we eat. So then the next thing is, if it's directly related to what we eat, that means solution also must come from what we eat. There is no point in giving medicines to a problem caused somewhere else. If we can remove it from the root, you remove all the problems. So hagagi, then maybe for the last 1 year, I've been on different diets, and 6 months back, I stumbled on what I feel is an ideal diet, which totally helped me to reduce not only my sugars, but all of these metabolic diseases, and so much so that presently I am off all medication, and my sugars are under excellent control. So I thought I'll share with you what I did for it to come under control. First thing is that we all know that diabetes is caused by sugar or carbohydrates. So sugar is now universally accepted all over the world in every branch of medicine. There is no controversy about sugar. Sugar is toxic, sugar is dangerous, sugar is addictive, sugar is poisonous. It's a slow poison, that's why you don't realize it. And not knowingly, we, especially in India, we celebrate everything with sweets and sugar. That's a very unfortunate thing. So first thing I got out of my life was sugar, totally out. Absolutely, I don't think I had a gram of sugar in the last 6 months. That was absolutely necessary, one. Two, the next biggest culprit here is so-called vegetable oils. Okay, seed oils, there are no vegetables there. They use either seed or beans, and they call it vegetable oil to give it a very good name. But these seed oils or vegetable oils are highly processed oils. It came into being just 40-50 years back, and it was projected to be healthy fats. That's the unfortunate thing. And I'm sure in most of our homes, including mine, I had to dig in and find out there still was some seed oil, vegetable oils there they were using. Because people are not aware. They feel now that's the best oil to cook and fry and all those things. Definitely not. Seed oils are again poisonous, again toxic. These two things you must just get them out of your life. That's what I did for myself. And the third most important thing I did was, because I was trying to reverse my diabetes, I had to cut down on my grains. That is rice, wheat, chapati, all this. They may say, no, chapati is better than rice, brown is better than white, everything. All these are called grains and complex carbohydrates. Although brown may be a little better than white, but ultimately it is broken down by the body into glucose. And if you are a diabetic or a pre-diabetic, your sugar rises. There's no doubt about it. I wear a constant glucose monitor ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. It's a glucose tracker. Every 5 minutes, if I want, I can check my glucose. That helped me a lot to show that what I eat, how my body is reacting. Every body ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. Everybody, it's not necessary that if you are hale and healthy, young and active, you should follow the strict diet what I have been following. But how my body was reacting to rice, wheat, bread, and helped just half an hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour after eating, if I just test my sugars, it would have spiked almost double the number. So I just got reduced all this, or I actually gave up all this. You may think if you don't eat rice, chapati, and this thing, what else can we eat? There are hundreds of other things, and I'll tell you what are the other options we have. So these, when I got this out, and another issue is that we all think fruits and fruit juices are very healthy. It is described like that, and everybody thinks you must have fruit. They say fruits and vegetables. Vegetables, there's no doubt, are extremely healthy, but definitely not all fruits, especially if you're a diabetic or a pre-diabetic. They are very sweet. They do spike your sugars. So if you want to reverse your diabetes, or if you're a pre-diabetic, or if you want to reduce your weight, you should avoid fruits as far as possible, with an exception, a few fruits I'll mention. But most of these fruits today are not the original fruits what was there 50 to 100 years back. You will know that apple was this size. Tomorrow today it is 3 times, 4 times its size. More than the size, it's the sweetness of apple. Apples were never so sweet 50 to 60 years back. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ it is as sweet as a mango. They are all genetically modified to taste better so that we eat more and there is more demand. This is the problem. Man has manipulated with food in the last 40 to 50 years and changed all its structure just to meet our taste and demand, and that has played havoc in our health. That's why they say we are fed by a food industry that is not interested in our health, and we are treated by a health industry that is not interested in our food. Actually, now ಮೊದಲು, I don't know if you all remember, ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕಡೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನೇ ಔಷಧ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಪತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಸರ್, ಪತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಯಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್? ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ಓಕೆ ಇದು ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಬಡಿ ರಿಯಲಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಯಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ don't give too much importance to diet restrictions. So with this kind of restriction, then you might ask me, what did I eat? Well, of course I am a non-vegetarian. That doesn't mean everybody who follows this diet needs to be a non-vegetarian. If you are a vegetarian, you can remain a vegetarian, or if you are a vegan, you can remain a vegan and still follow. This is called a low carb, medium fat, a medium protein and a high healthy fat diet. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದನೇ, ಈ ಶುಗರ್ ಇಂದನೇ ಈ ನಮಗೆ ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಳಾಗಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಈಟ್ ಶುಗರ್, ಬಾಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್. Glucose and whatever is there in the body, it utilizes. The excess of glucose, the liver converts into fat and it stores it away. Glucose, to take it away from the blood, you need insulin. So insulin level rises very high. Insulin is the hormone that not only tries to reduce the blood sugar, but also it is a fat storing hormone. So excess sugar fat convert madbittu it stores, and initially you slowly see it as a belly fat. And no, it doesn't only store, it also locks it up. As long as insulin is high, it will always be locked up. You can never burn your fat. So now when we reduce sugars and carbohydrates, automatically insulin level comes down, And the body does not have glucose to burn. Body is a hybrid machine.